So recently, the movie Captain Marvel came out at the box office, and now enough time has passed for us to know how it's gonna do. And apparently, it's a fucking smash hit. It's on course to do over $900 million. Apparently, it's already made more money than Wonder Woman. It's the 10th highest grossing Marvel movie, and it just passed Guardians of the Galaxy. In fact, it's on course to make more money than Thor Ragnarok, Star Wars Episode 3, and it's already made more money than Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2, The Hunger Games. This movie is kicking ass, which makes the response to this movie from conservatives and anti-SJWs even more hilarious. They fucking went nuts over this shit. If you thought their response to the all-female remake of Ghostbusters was insane, you ain't seen nothing yet. Even Donald Trump Jr. was jumping on the bandwagon of hating this movie. It's Captain Triggered. The hilarious part is, the only people who were triggered by this movie were conservatives. And I absolutely love how anti-SJWs and conservatives use this same picture over and over again. They're so fucking unoriginal. They all just copy each other over and over again and then brag about how they're so good at making memes. Even James Woods was like, okay, I'll be happy to sit this one out. Get the fuck out of here, James Woods. Like you're the target audience of this movie. I'm pretty sure they can take the hit. And literally, folks, there were channels who did almost nothing but talk about this movie for weeks on end. This channel made over a dozen videos about it. Conservative douchebag and fake liberal Tim Pool made like 30 videos about it. The Quartering, who is one of the new giant anti-SJW channels, made over 30 videos about it just himself. Popular anti-SJW channel Geeks and Gamers, I shit you not, made over 100 fucking videos about this movie. 100 fucking videos! They've literally done almost nothing but obsess over this movie for months. Apparently all these people are pissed off because the movie star Brie Larson dared to have an opinion in public. She basically went in public and said, hey, I think there are too many white male movie reviewers out there. Her point was basically that if you made a movie that was targeted at black women, that if all the movie reviewers were older white men, that since they're not the target demographic of your movie, they would probably be less likely to get it and review it worse. And people who go see movies based on reviews would be less likely to see your movie. And honestly, I kind of understand where she's coming from. Let's say you made a movie that was targeted at children, and all the people that reviewed it were 70-year-old childless men. Obviously, since they are not the target demographic you're going for, they would probably review the movie less kindly because they don't get it. I mean, it's really not that insane of a thing to say, and I don't even fully agree with her. I think there's an argument to be made that movies like Us and Hidden Figures and Moonlight and Get Out, movies with black protagonists, were actually reviewed quite well by the white reviewers that reviewed them. So I don't even 100% agree with her here. But man, conservatives and SJWs wasn't fucking having it because she mentioned white men and oh hell no. You don't fucking talk about white men. The YouTube reactionaries flip the fuck out. So I thought today we would take a look at some of the cringier videos made about this movie. So first off, let's start with the channel Geeks and Gamers, who, as I said, made over 100 fucking videos about this movie.
5 reasons why I believe that Captain Marvel will fail.
Let me stop you right there, dipshit. It made over $900 million. I can only assume that all 5 of your reasons are because you're an anti-SJW dipshit reactionary who doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about. But let's keep going and see what the main guy who runs this Geeks and Gamers channel has to say about it.
Emphasis on the word her when they're trying to show the word hero. And it's just like, why do you have to do this? Why do you have to do it? Why can't you just make a movie about a woman and just leave the identity politic bullshit out of it?
Oh no! They focused on the letters her in the word hero! Fucking SJWs are ruining everything! This is unforgivable! What else you got?
Going woke. Gotta be preaching. Gotta be all about the women respecting. You gotta all be about, we respect minority. Shut up. Just shut up. We don't care about any of that.
That's right. Shut the fuck up! Nobody cares about respecting women or minorities. We see right through this incredibly harmful message, Marvel.
It's becoming repetitive at this point. It's becoming just so predictable.
Dude, you literally made 100 goddamn videos about this movie. What the fuck are you talking about? It's becoming repetitive. God fucking damn it, these people are stupid.
Even Iron Man numbers. It's not even going to do Cap numbers. It's not going to do those type of numbers.
Yeah, dude, it beat the shit out of Iron Man. It's a good thing you've somehow convinced idiots on YouTube to watch you, because when it comes to predicting stuff, you suck shit.
I don't care about this movie at all.
What the fuck you mean you don't care about this movie at all? You literally made 100 goddamn videos about it. I swear I feel like I'm fucking taking crazy pills constantly with these motherfuckers. Who watches this shit? Who believes this guy? Who is listening to this asshole? Like, what the fuck, people?
Brie Larson, you've done nothing. And you're already getting on social media acting woke. Like, just shut up. You know what I mean? Like, just be quiet.
And the Oscar goes to Brie Larson. Room.
Oh my fucking god. Holy shit. We have reached peak irony, folks. Can you imagine sitting in your room making 100 videos about a movie you didn't like and claiming that Brie Larson, a mega movie star who has won an Academy Award, has done nothing? Can you imagine what kind of fucking asshole you would have to be? I mean, seriously, the lack of self-awareness of these motherfuckers. And this is what's popular on YouTube right now. What is wrong with you people? How in the fuck do you not watch this and cringe to death? But shockingly, out of nowhere, this guy suddenly decides to be incredibly honest about his fan base.
So again, these people are nuts. Their stupidity is out of control. People are nuts. And I'm going to continue to monetize your pain and your stupidity and your ignorance. It's the easiest thing I've ever done in my life.
Finally, the first honest thing this motherfucker has said. And there you have it, folks. That's the essence of this whole grift. They're in it for the fucking money. They don't give a shit about you. They don't really give a shit about any of this. This is what I've been saying about the anti-SJW community for years. They don't really give a shit about any of this stuff. They're just fucking in it for the money. It's a grift. And in those rare moments when they're being super honest, they admit it themselves. And like I said earlier, this new incredibly popular anti-SJW dude, The Quartering, made over 30 videos about it. This is a guy who got on Twitter the other day and complained that a gaming company came out against white supremacy. And this motherfucker is incredibly popular. Every time he talks about this shit, he gets like 500,000 views. Let's see what this clear genius had to say about it.
Being woke doesn't sell tickets. It's the same thing we talk about in video games. SJWs don't buy video games. SJWs can't afford to go to the movies. And that's the big reason I think you see this movie go from 180 million down to 80 million and pre-apologizing for its failure.
That's right, folks. According to Galaxy Brain The Quartering, this movie will fail miserably because SJWs can't afford to go to the movies. Like, seriously, YouTube, come on. Why the fuck are people like this popular? These guys are cringe as fuck. How are a bunch of middle-aged men sitting around whining about a fucking movie not exactly the same as every fucking SJW ever made fun of? How do you not see how hypocritical this shit is? Not to mention, they're stupid as shit. These guys don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're wrong about everything. And speaking of being wrong about everything, popular anti-SJW YouTuber Computing Forever chimed in to give us his opinion on this movie. And don't worry, folks. Unlike those other assholes, he really knows what he's talking about because he watched this movie and examined it very closely.
I haven't actually seen the film myself.
Oh, okay then. You made a whole long video about a movie you haven't even seen yet? Well, that makes sense. I'm sure your opinion is incredibly valid then. Let's see what the fuck it is.
Just as a quick aside, I recall seeing one trailer where Carol is having these flashbacks where men are telling her she's basically not good enough.
You won't last a week. They'll never let you fly. This isn't a game for little girls. Give it up!
You won't last a week. They'll never let you fly. This isn't a game for little girls. Give it up. Who actually says this kind of stuff to young girls or women?
The United States Air Force, you absolute fucking knob. This movie takes place in the mid-90s, and in the early 90s, when these people were supposedly saying this stuff to her, there were literally rules against women being fighter pilots. They're not gonna let you fly is literally what they told every fucking woman back then. Dude, you know Google exists, right?
This is just cringe level social justice stuff. What's so weird is that this film is aimed at female audiences as some kind of feminist empowerment message, but it's one that almost no woman in the Western world could relate to, because the idea that women are basically being systematically suppressed or denied opportunities is completely and objectively absurd.
But in the early 90s where these scenes took place, women literally were systematically suppressed. Shit, ask the first woman pilot, who wasn't allowed to even become a pilot, to the mid-90s. She's spoken out specifically about how tough it was. Like, dude, could you be any more of a fucking dipshit? But I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking with all the freak out over this movie, there must be some incredibly obvious social justice warrior messages they're trying to shove down everybody's throat. But don't worry, folks. The greatest thinker of our generation, No Bullshit, has us covered, and he's going to explain exactly how SJWs ruined this entire fucking movie. Let's have a listen.
Hello and welcome back to SJW Moments on No Bullshit. Today we finally get to talk about the actual content of the movie Captain Marvel in depth more. There were certainly a few social justice warrior moments in there, pushing progressive and liberal politics. It was going for the whole girl power feminist angle clearly. Let's talk about the whole premise of the movie from the beginning, and the whole reason this movie was even made, because, let's be real, the whole project came to be because of SJWs and third wave feminism, and it's building up a character who appears to be one of the strongest we've ever seen. And that's another thing that's suspect about Captain Marvel too. She's coming in so strong and overpowered. She's OP, and she's almost too perfect, especially considering the SJW and feminist angles of this. You think they would have a male character be this perfect and being all pro-male and stuff?
That's right, SJWs. We're on to you by making your superheroes powerful. They would never make a male superhero really fucking powerful in these movies, right? This is just clear, third-wave feminist, social justice warrior fuckery. I prefer my female superheroes weak as fuck, like God intended. But the SJWs get even worse with their obvious agenda.
Also, the main thing that's SJW here is, you know that Marvel is doing all this and propping up Captain Marvel so much because she's feminist and a female. So the influence is there for sure. So there were two big things I noticed about the character in the movie, about Captain Marvel, which were certainly influenced by its progressive and regressive agenda. First, there was a lack of a love interest for the Captain, and so many other things, but for some reason, they completely left out any sort of love interest at all. Not for Captain Marvel, no, which is strange since almost all Marvel movies have some sort of love interest, or at least someone the main character flirts with or hooks up with or something. But here, with Captain Marvel, there was absolutely nothing, and I think I know why. First of all, they certainly didn't want the first female superhero to be fawning all over some dude. Guys are evil and toxic according to this production, so having Captain Marvel kissing up on a guy in any way surely doesn't fit their narrative. And also, I suspect they may want to make her a lesbian or something later.
He's got you there, SJWs. Clear feminist agenda by not having her make out with dudes in this movie. Because if there's one thing SJWs hate, it's women who are in committed relationships. She's obviously just a lesbo, you fucking feminist. This SJW message is so clear. Why can't you guys see it? But I know it's hard to believe, this shit gets even more obvious. Take it away, No Bullshit.
Next, let's talk about another concept from the movie which I'm sure was influenced by the SJW stuff too. As I went over briefly in my hot take review, I really was never a big fan of Captain Marvel's costume. It really seemed too bulky to me, and I'm pretty sure it's because the directors were actively trying to make her less sexy and more butch even. And this goes back to the reason they didn't give her a lover too. It's because they wanted to take sex appeal out of this movie completely. But she also wore mostly boys' clothes besides it, wearing hats and big pants and even a number of military flight uniforms. She kind of looked like a janitor sometimes.
That's right, SJWs. I dare you to have a female fighter pilot dress in a fighter pilot jumpsuit. We are sick of your feminist regressive agenda. And we demand that in future movies, when she is flying a plane, she does so in a bikini, like women do in real life.
Now compare this to DC's Wonder Woman, and it's not even close. Wonder Woman was hot all the time, and the first time we see her is in Batman vs. Superman, and she's wearing a sexy dress and heels. Then later on in her own movie, we see Wonder Woman in skirts and then her signature outfit, which still looks much hotter than anything Carol Danvers from Captain Marvel wears. No, while Wonder Woman's costume is a little bulky too, similar to Captain Marvel, we still at least get to see some legs and a little sex appeal. But with Captain Marvel, this is almost non-existent. I don't know what it is about SJWs, but they always want their women to act more like men, rejecting their sex appeal almost completely. And to put it simply here, I really don't like that.
That's right, Marvel. If I can't masturbate to your superhero females, what's even the point in having them? But let's put all that aside and get to the real obvious examples of cuckery in this movie.
Let's get to the more obvious SJW moments in the film. This first one was pretty obvious, and also, it was a glaring FU to the male audience who had been hating on the movie leading up to its release. A guy rides up on a motorcycle. The biker even basically catcalls Captain Marvel, saying something like, "Hey sweetie, look over here," calling her hot stuff or something. After Captain Marvel doesn't really respond to his catcall, the biker then says something like, "What's wrong, sweetie? Why aren't you smiling? You should smile more." Or he might have said, "Would a smile really kill you?" Something like that.
Well, there you go, folks. Smoking gun proof, this movie is all about the SJWs. A man put up on a motorcycle and asked Brie Larson to smile. I mean, you can't get any more obviously SJW than that. And yet they do. Let's pick one final example that will prove to everybody once and for all this movie is SJW trash.
Another part of the movie which I thought was pandering to SJWs was the whole inclusion of the cat character named Goose. We all know a large majority of SJWs are crazy cat ladies, so it's no surprise that the first female feminist SJW Marvel hero, well, she's basically got a kitty cat as a sidekick. The cat swallows the Tesseract for a while to hold on to it, and swallowing the Tesseract, which contains one of the Infinity Stones, well, it really doesn't get more OP than that. Last thing I'll mention about the cat is bonding over a little kitty cat wasn't beta enough. Now Nick has gotten retconned into having his eye patch because of this cat scratching him in the face. This is a very prequel SJW related thing to do, retconning things to make him more feminist and PC, but oh well, I guess this is what we have to deal with now.
Well, there you have it, folks. Undeniable proof of the SJW message in this movie. She had a cat. I mean, be honest, people. When you think of social justice warriors, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Fucking cats, of course. So thank you, No Bullshit, for putting this all out in a way that absolutely nobody can deny. The fact that your videos get hundreds of thousands of views is obviously totally warranted. YouTube is not amazingly idiotic in any way. And next up, even anti-SJW women were pissed about this movie.
I am not thrilled about this movie, and it just seemed like this girl was coming in and being like, "I'm a warrior hero, and I'm going to be the one that saves everyone." It was a big turnoff to me, and I know I'm basically some of the target audience. I mean, they're trying to push this female empowerment. I get it. I don't need that shoved down my throat, especially with who they cast. Everyone that's gonna call me sexist for this, which I mean you can't really since I'm a freaking woman.
Wait, isn't that identity politics? That's like saying black people can't be racist, women can't be sexist. That's identity politics. But hey, obviously she has a very strong opinion about this movie, so she must have paid really close attention when she went and watched it.
You wanna say, "Oh, Captain Marvel, she's gonna come and save everyone. You gotta stand behind Captain Marvel." No! I don't want to stand behind Captain Marvel. She hasn't proven herself, and I understand the movie is not out yet. No, it doesn't make me resonate with her. It doesn't make me want to stand behind her because I haven't seen that. And yes, again, I know the movie hasn't come out yet, but just from what I've seen, I'm not compelled to stand behind her.
That's right. I haven't seen it, but I fucking hate it. And even the most talented man on the planet, PewDiePie, couldn't help but to join on this anti-SJW bandwagon and shit on this movie. God damn, he's a comedic genius. Definitely worthy of being the most subscribed person in the entire world, isn't he? 90 million subscribers is way too little if you ask me. Everybody on Earth needs to be subscribed to this motherfucker.
Personally, I think a lot of people dislike this film because of the main actress, Brie Larson, who is probably one of the most unlikable lead female characters I've seen in a long time. I mean, God, everyone just wants to be a victim, don't they?
Dude, weren't you whining and playing the victim recently on Twitter that T-Series was spamming a video of yours? You were outright trying to play the victim and get your dumbass fanbase to spam subscribe to PewDiePie even more because the tens of millions of dollars in free advertisement you've already tricked these idiots into giving you is not enough. It's never fucking enough for you, PewDiePie. Let's just be honest, folks. This dude is just as big of an anti-SJW shitlord as all the rest of them are. That's exactly why he attracts so many shitheads. And let's finish this video up with this incredibly well-balanced and obviously sane individual.
This is totally fine. You can yell about this all you want, but you can't yell about Brie Larson. The way that she's being protected everywhere. YouTube changed its algorithm. That's why you don't see her name in the title of this video. That's why it's not the tags for this video. Because the YouTube changed its algorithm to protect her from all of the mean words people were saying about her. When has it happened before? When has it ever happened before? When have they protected a man or a woman or anybody in this way? Obviously, you have this person.
Yep, definitely a completely normal human being. Come on, folks, let's just be honest. If this were an SJW acting like this, there would be an endless amount of videos making fun of her. The anti-SJW channels will be non-stop making fun of her. She would be the new poster girl for how cringy and out of control SJWs are. But the fact that she's an anti-SJW means none of these guys are going to make a video about her. None of them are going to make fun of her. There's two sets of rules these motherfuckers play by. They are as hypocritical gets. But once again, in a rare moment of honesty when push comes to shove, these people actually tell you what their agenda is and why they're doing this.
She's made 18 videos about Captain Marvel / Brie Larson over the last month. There's got to be a better use of her time and energy. Really? Can you think of one that would involve me making as much money as I do off of these videos? Because I can't. Right now, those videos work really well and are popular, and I make them about opinions that I actually have. So, sorry, gonna keep making them if y'all keep watching them.
Yep, folks, as always, it's all about the money. They see you conservatives and anti-SJWs as nothing but people they can leech off of. These people will say whatever they have to make money off of you. And let's face it, most of you idiots don't even give a shit. You don't care that they're feeding off of you. You guys lap this shit up like good little dogs and come back for more. And that's why they're gonna keep doing it. It's really sad, folks, that this is what YouTube has turned into, that this is what's incredibly popular on YouTube now. I mean, back in the old days, I felt like we were actually fighting for something important, and now it's just fucking stupid. They're gonna keep searching through movies and TVs and finding shit to be offended about. The anti-SJWs are exactly like the SJWs they continuously make fun of. And until you idiots wake up and see it, they're gonna keep conning you and making money off of you. But hey, it works for me. It's fun as shit making fun of you motherfuckers for this stuff. Because it's so obvious what fucking hypocrites you guys are. You guys are exactly the same as all the SJWs you make fun of. You're no different. So you guys please keep this shit up. You guys please continue to be cringy as fuck. And I'll do what I always do. Slap your asses down with logic. Fuck yes. Hey guys, I'm obviously a giant SJW, which is why I have this cat. This is Cece, and she definitely does not want to be on camera. This is one of our rescues here at the Human Society of Mississippi Animal Sanctuary. If you enjoy my work, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Almost all the proceeds go to support the animal sanctuary I have. If you like what I do, even $1 or $2 a month really helps. We do good work here, and I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Mwah.